Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Ishmael from Conjured Realm. Okay, so in today's video, I wanted to talk to you guys about ego in terms of non-dualism, and if you want to apply this also to law of assumption, you can, but this is just my take on ego when it came to me getting my desires. So one of the main things I've noticed with a lot of people is one of the reasons why so many of us who come into manifestation or law of assumption, non-dualism, are stuck is because we try to make the ego agree with our new beliefs or thoughts that we may have about a situation, a thing, or any desire that we may have. It's almost like sometimes we want the ego to co-sign with a new belief or thought that we're having. And it wasn't until I realized that it's completely okay to know that ego will never truly 100% be on your side when you have a new belief or a new thought about something. And when I came to that conclusion, it was so freeing because I could think separately from the ego and still get what I want. I could be different from the ego and still get what I want. You know, just like everything else, the ego is not you, because all you are is consciousness, and the ego is a form of consciousness. It is not real. But I know a lot of you may have difficulty understanding that ego is not real because you feel the emotions that ego causes you so deeply and so viscerally within you. So it may feel, right, like an illusion. It may feel like it's real, but it's really not. So you identify with these emotions and these thoughts because to you they feel so genuine. But when I realized that I could just be separate from the ego and just observe and not react and have different opposing opinions from the ego, I was truly living out the definition of God. No longer was I feeling like I was being restricted because a new idea or a new thought that I was having wasn't being co-signed by the ego. At some point, you have to kind of be okay with the ego not 100% fully agreeing with any new ideas or thoughts or desires that you may have about something in general. And I came to find out that it's completely okay. Your ego doesn't have to agree with you. You can still get everything you want, and the ego doesn't have to agree. And I feel like so many of you get stuck in this, well, if I have a new thought, if I have a belief, or if I have a desire, and I'm trying to emulate me already having it, it doesn't feel 100% real because the ego is not signing off on this idea as well. And that can get you stuck because the ego doesn't like change. It's very stubborn. It wants to stay in safe zone. When things seem new to the ego, it's going to be resistant towards that new idea. But if you understand that kind of like the ego's job to do that because it wants to keep you safe, then you don't take things so personally when you have a new affirmation that you're using, or if you're trying to affirm that you have something. I'm telling you right now, I've never been more free. I've never been more free in the knowing that I didn't always have to align with what the ego wants me to think. I didn't have to always be almost like a teacher's pet to my ego when I wanted my desires, right? Because I feel like some of you may think that it's kind of like a parent to a child. The child asks the parent for something, and if the parent says no, then that means you can't have it. When in reality, you as consciousness, you've always been everything, you've always been God, you've always been greater than the ego. So truly just being the observer in those situations and not waiting for my ego to approve of the new ways of thinking or my new thoughts or my new desires was such a game changer to me. It felt like I could walk through fire without getting burned. So the ego is not you. You're beyond the ego. You're beyond the things that the ego wants you to believe. By nature, the ego is very resistant. So if you know this right off the bat, you can live your life freely without having to seek its approval because by nature, it's not going to approve. So you know that you can think freely apart from it. And this is such a freeing thing to know because you can be your own fuel You don't need the ego to co-sign with your new ideas for you to know that something is working, or for you to know that something is going to happen or work out for you. You can be completely separate from it and it still works. And I know this for a fact because I've tried it and it's worked. So that is a little bit of clarification on the ego regarding non-dualism. But again, you can apply this to law of assumption as well. This was just, you know, a little chit chat, a little fascinating thing I have discovered not too long ago. And it really is a game changer. So I 100% highly recommend you guys start viewing the ego in this way. That way you can start feeling like you're still powerful even on days where the ego is not on your side completely. But yeah, if you guys need one-on-one coaching, head over to my website, conjuredrealm.com. I still have open availability for coaching, or if you just need me to explain non-dualism to you or law of assumption to you much clearer, much better with personal examples, reach out to me through there. If you have any questions, contact me at conjuredrealm@gmail.com. Give this video a thumbs up and subscribe, hit the bell notification icon so you're notified every time I post a new video. All right, guys, happy manifesting.